Well, hi guys, welcome back to the Kneady Homesteader Channel, and tonight we are going to do something special. We are going to do something full of joy. It has been a very hard and long 2020, and quite frankly, I could not be happier about ushering in the month of December. So as we usher in the month of December, we are going to do something fun. We are going to make Christmas jam, because I think everybody needs a little joy in their life right now. And this video I'm going to dedicate to a fellow YouTuber, Gay over at Apron Strings. If you are not subscribed to Gay, go and treat yourself. First off, her kitchen is absolutely amazing. It's like eye candy. Second, she is the ultimate canning queen and dehydrating queen. If you want to know how to dehydrate, Gay is your woman. I mean, she has taught me so much, and I just love her spirit. Like, going to her channel just is a feel-good channel. Plus, she teaches you life skills. Like, it's such a place of inspiration and fun and joy, and we all need a little extra joy in our life right now. So go over to Gay, tell her Kneady sent you, and subscribe. Treat yourself. You are gonna love her, okay? I will leave her link up above. Now, with all that said, I'm gonna spin you guys around. We're gonna do a late night canning session, because sometimes that's what the spirit calls for. So let's go make some Christmas jam. Okay, as my tea kettle is gonna come to a boil, I'm gonna add some really hot water to my very clean and washed lids and rings. I am using one bag, and I saved the bags over here so I can show you exactly what I'm using. I'm using one 12-ounce bag of fresh cranberries that I washed really well, okay? And then over here, now, the original Christmas jam calls for strawberries, and if you are new to my channel, I will let you in on a secret. I am deathly allergic to strawberries, so you're never gonna see strawberry jam here on my channel. So what I'm going to do is I am replacing the strawberries with these dark, sweet, pitted cherries. I went ahead and I am using 3 bags, okay? Those are 16-ounce bags, but I figured, well, you need about 40 ounces. It calls for strawberries. So this is about 40 ounces of cherries by the time I ate several of them. If you can go ahead and cut these open without eating any, more power to you, but I could not. I went ahead and I split mine in half, because I did find 2 cherries in 3 bags that had pits, and also one that had a stem. So I went ahead, I cut them all in half. I gave them a good wash first, and then I cut them in half just to make sure that there were no pits or anything funky in there. So so that's what I did, and that's what I used. I'm also going to be using powdered pectin. I know the original recipe calls for liquid. I don't like liquid pectin, so I find that it just never sets properly. So I am using powdered pectin. I'm also going to be using a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cloves, and a little bit of cinnamon. I'm also using the juice of 2 oranges, and then that gave me, I want to say, about 1/3 cup of juice. So what I did is I filled the rest up with water, okay? So that's what I'm using for a little added acid. We're also going to be using 7 cups of sugar with this recipe. Now, I think the original recipe calls for 5 pounds, which is like, I think 11.5 cups. We're not going to use that much sugar, okay? We're going to be using 7 cups, which is pretty much a classic amount for jam. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my sugar. I'm going to set you up on the tripod, set you over here on my pot, and we're going to make some Christmas jam. Also make mention that over here in my hot water bath canner, I have some jars in there that are sitting nice and hot, ready to go. I also got, you know, the debubbler and my scoop and my lift and my funnel. So get all of your stuff out, make sure everything's nice and clean, and let's get started. All right, so to get started, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my pot on medium heat here. I am using an enameled cast iron pot here. I'm gonna go ahead and add my cranberries in here. And to this, I'm going to go ahead and add my juice. And then we are going to just give that a little stir. All right, and I'm just gonna cook these until the cranberries start to pop. And then we will go ahead and at that time add in our cherries, our spices, and our pectin. So I'm just gonna let these kind of cook up a little bit. Should take about 5 minutes or so. Right, so that is 5 minutes. Everything is nice and popped and nice and hot. So now we're gonna go ahead and add in our cherries. We're also going to go ahead and add in our pectin. So I am using classic pectin, 6 tablespoons of it. I'm going to be adding it to a quarter cup of sugar. You always want to mix your powdered pectin in with a little bit of sugar. It just mixes in better. So we're gonna add that, give that a nice stir. Okay, and then to this we are going to be adding a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to add a quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg and a quarter teaspoon of ground cloves. And then we're going to give that a nice stir. Now I'm going to go ahead and let this come up to a boil. And then when this comes to a boil, we'll go ahead and add our remaining 6 3/4 cup of sugar to this. Okay, so what we want is we want a nice rapid boil that you can no longer stir down. And we are just about there. So when you're stirring it, it still continues to boil. Okay, if you can stir it and the bubbles go away, you're not quite there yet. And this is for those folks who have a hard time getting jam and jelly to set. You really want a boil that you cannot stir down. Okay, so now that we're there, we are going to go ahead and add our sugar. So I'm just going to go ahead. Now we are going to go ahead and add this, bring this back up to a boil again, okay? And once again, we are going to bring this to a boil that we cannot stir down. And at that time, we're going to start our timer and we're going to time it for 4 minutes. And we are going to boil this for 4 minutes, and that's going to really activate our pectin and make this nice and thick. Now, if you don't want a super chunky jam, me and my family, we really like the chunky jams. If you like it a little bit more mashed, I guess you would say, you can take a stick blender to this if you want. Many people put it in a food processor before they even cook the fruit, and they kind of crush it down before they even cook it. So it's totally up to you. I really wanted this Christmas jam to have some cherries, some chunks of cherries and cranberries in here. So I chose to leave mine chunky, but that is totally your call and what you prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and keep stirring this. You don't want to leave your jam at all. It will splatter, make a mess on your stove. So you want to just keep close, keep stirring it. We're going to go ahead and bring this back up to a boil. It won't take long. And once we get it to a boil that we cannot stir down, I'll go ahead and start my timer. And we will time it for 4 minutes. Turn it off the heat, and we'll be ready to jar this up. Now I want to make mention, it's usually at this point that I will just dip a little spoon in there and have a taste. You always want to taste your jam and make sure, oh, that tastes phenomenal. That does taste like Christmas. I'm just saying. But you definitely want to Give your jam a taste. You never want to can anything without tasting it. Right. So we're stirring it, and as you see, it's still bubbling. So this is the time we're going to go ahead and set our timer for 4 minutes. And I'm going to just keep stirring this for 4 minutes. In fact, I'm going to, at this point, drop in a pat of butter, okay? A little less than a tablespoon. And that's going to help with the foam because this will get a little foamy. So we're going to go ahead and stir this for 4 minutes. Just keep stirring. And for those who are new to canning, the pat of butter helps control the foam. It's like an old school trick that I learned from the canning queens here on YouTube land. Lots of people use that trick. You don't have to do that. You'll probably want a little taller pot in case the foam goes a little too tall, but you can skim the foam off with a spoon if you want. All right. There goes our timer. So we're going to go ahead and shut that off, and we're going to go ahead and shut off our heat. And I'm going to stir this until it kind of calms down a little bit. And now I'm going to, you kind of want this to just kind of calm down. Give it a couple of minutes to kind of calm down and thicken up for you. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and set up the tripod and get all of my canning supplies ready to go. And we are going to can up this beautiful Christmas jam. And all right, now we are ready to start bringing out these jars. I just keep them ready to go in my canner. And then we're going to go ahead and add this jam. About a 1/4 inch headspace. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so because it is a jam, I just like to give it a nice little stir here and debubble it a bit. I always like to keep a jar to hold my dirty funnel so I don't make a mess. I've got a little dish over here on the side here that I'm going to, I've got white vinegar, distilled vinegar in it. I'm going to go ahead and give these rims a nice wipe. Be careful, your jars are going to be extremely hot. And then for a Christmas touch, I have some green ball lids, and I even have a green ring. So let me grab a cloth here because this is really hot. Fingertip tight, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and there you go. Look at how pretty that is. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I'll get you down low there. There you go. All right, so let's get our funnel on here. Or jam a little stir. So pretty, and it smells incredible. It really does smell like Christmas. The cinnamon and the nutmeg and the cloves with the cranberries. Oh, so good. Okay, we're gonna give that a little stir there. Nice little wipe. Another green lid here because it's festive and fun. And we will do fingertip tight Okay, and that is jar number 2. And if you give this a try, you have to come back and let me know. Better yet, if you have a YouTube channel, and I'm talking to you guys in my Inner Circle membership, you have a YouTube channel, make me a video reply. Would love it. And if I get 5 people, I can put 5 cards up on my channel, up on my video, so other people can find you and come watch your video, which is what is really fun about YouTube. So okay. Alright, fingertip tight. And in the canner. Alright guys, I'm going to keep going here. And when I get them all, when I get this jam all in jars, I will bring you guys back. And we are going to can this and process this for 10 minutes. If you're under 1,000 feet. Just so you guys know, I was able to get 8 jars out of this. And then this one is filled to the 1-inch headspace. So I'm leaving this one out, and I'm going to put this in my fridge for my family to enjoy now. This is going to be fantastic on a bagel with cream cheese with this over it. It's going to be so good. So I am going to let this cool. I'm going to just kind of set it off to the side, let it cool, and then I'm just going to put, I'll show you the cap. I'm going to use one of these ball leak-proof lids. I kind of just screw on just like that. So I don't want to do that yet because the jam is still hot. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. Put all this dirty stuff in my sink. And that will be enjoyed in the morning. All right, with that said, I'm going to spin you around here and show you everything in the canner here. I'm going to go ahead and bring everything in together. Make sure that all of your jars are nice and sitting nice on that rack. Okay, nothing's tilted. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my canner on to canning. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. I'm going to wait until this comes to a rolling boil. What I love about this ball electric canner is that you can see everything that's going on. So when that comes to a rapid boil, I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for 10 minutes. When 10 minutes is up, I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to take off the lid, let these sit in the canner for 5 minutes before I bring them out. And then that's going to be it, guys. We're going to have Christmas jam on our shelf for gifts. So while that is getting ready to can, I'm going to clean up my mess, and I will meet you guys back here when we pull these beauties out of the canner. All right, you guys, here we go. Here are all the pings. I don't know if that big light adds anything. I love the sound of the pings. Here we go. Okay. There we go. As they all start to ping, and I just wanted to bring you in to show you the jam. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna get a spoon so you guys can see. Okay. It's still pretty hot, but it's starting to set up now. and it is so good. It really does taste like Christmas in a jar. You've got chunks of black cherry and cranberry with this back note of the orange and the cinnamon and the clove and the nutmeg, and it is so good. Look how thick that is. So once this cools, this is going to be beautiful. So alright guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give this version a try. If you do, let me know how you like it. And I'll be seeing you soon for another canning video. I have a couple of them coming up. So I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.